Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. Today in front of you, I have three Heinrich watches. This is the Tauscher. I don't know how to pronounce it in German. Tauscher, or the Taucher. This is their new dive watch, and it's a made in Germany watch. I think it's a pretty cool watch with some neat colors. As you can see here, we have a green. Actually, I have all three color variations. We have a black dial, and then we have a blue dial. So these are sent to me. These are prototypes, and I'm going to tell you what this is all about here. As you can see, the green one is probably my favorite one, and obviously I'm not going to hold all three on the screen at the same time. But let's start off with some basic pricing. About 639 US dollars on the Kickstarter, which will be, definitely check out their website. We'll drop a link down in the description below. Let's start off with what's on my wrist today. On my wrist today is the 18038 Rolex Day-Date President. Yeah, definitely a great watch. I've had this one for about 2 or 3 years already, and gets a lot of wrist time. So the Heinrich Taucher is obviously a dive watch. It's in a 70s style kind of vibe. It's crafted of solid 316L stainless steel all the way around with drilled lug holes and a nice kind of old, it reminds me of those old kind of vintage Citizen watches with these kind of bracelets. It's like a mesh kind of bracelet. It's very comfortable. It's definitely articulating and also can lay flat on the backside of the case there. The dials are sunburst effect, so they're very nice when they hit the light, as you can see there. They have creamy markers with nice kind of sword-styled hands, the Heinrich logo. And the Heinrich logo will be slimmed down a bit. It'll be a bit smaller on the final production models. Now this watch, in terms of some basic measurements, we're looking at a 41 millimeter case diameter here, 47 lug to lug. We're looking at a pair of 20 millimeter lug widths here. We get a screw down crown. We get 200 meters of water resistance and a 120 click unidirectional rotating dive time bezel, which features a sapphire insert, which features lume as well. Also, the whole dial is completely loomed. Keep in mind, I will not be doing a lume shot because the lume is not that great on the prototype models, but the final iterations will have BGW9 lume, and I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty good. So do not worry about that. Now, if you didn't notice, a nice little detail on the bezel, as you can see here, is these kind of little squiggly lines, and I think that's pretty cool. They're engraved in there going all the way around. I think it's a nice little touch. You also get the Heinrich logo on the crown. It's also on the case back and the buckle, which I'll show you in a little bit. Now, in terms of case thickness, with the double dome sapphire air-coated crystal, we're looking at 14 millimeters. Now, without the crystal, you're probably looking at about 12. It's not that thick of a watch, and it wears quite nice on the wrist, actually, considering this nice mesh-style bracelet, which is really, really, really comfortable. And I'll get more into that in a little bit. Now, inside the Heinrich watch will be the Sellita SW200. And this movement, most of you guys are familiar with it. It's a Swiss-made movement. It features about 26 joules, beats at 4 hertz, 28,800 beats per hour. We get hacking seconds, we get hand winding, and they're usually pretty accurate, about plus or minus 10 seconds if they're not regulated from the factory. And a 38-hour power reserve, basically, kind of, the same thing as an ETA 2824. Both Swiss-made, but definitely widely used movements in micro brands and also in mainstream brands as well. Getting to the bezel action, as you can see, the bezel action is actually really good and it's very easy to grip. Nice clicks. Everything feels really, really nice. And I don't think they should change anything about the bezel action. I like the bezel action. Now getting to the bracelet, as you can see, like I stated, we have the Heinrich logo here, which is pretty cool with black enamel. And then we get one of those diver's extensions. So these are pretty commonly seen on a lot of microbrand watches, and most of you guys are familiar with that. Now you open up the clasp, you get a nice milled clasp here. I'm just open this to show you the case back. So as you can see on the case back, you do get the logo with the black enamel and a screw down brushed case back as well. There are quick release pins on this bracelet. On the regular versions, there will not be quick release pins. We have the drilled lug hole, so there's really no need for both. But anyway, I believe this black as well will be taken out and it'll be just kind of steel with the squiggly lines as well. Just so you know that. But the bracelet itself is certainly comfortable. It does not pull hair. And as you can see, you can fold all these links up like this. It's extremely articulating, which it basically means it's super comfortable. It doesn't pull hair. And it also lays perfectly flat on back of the case here, which is very nice. Definitely a nice fit as well. Over here, as you can see, it lines up perfectly to the case. It's a nice clean fit. Not even a tiny, tiny gap here, which is really nice to see. Now the crown itself is very easy to grip. You pull it out, you get self-winding, which is always smooth on the Sellita. There's a ghost date here, but on the final iterations, there will not be a ghost date. Then you get hacking, you can set the time here. Very legible dial. Definitely has a really vintage vibe to it. Screw the crown back down. No issues there. Get you in a little closer on the Heinrich dial, as you can see. Nice little colors on the end of the sweeping seconds hand. A little distortion from the double dome crystal, which is nice. And really get you in on that logo there so you can really see it. I think everything is pretty fine-tuned here. I do like the seconds hand, and it does reference to a monument in his hometown, which is pretty cool. Just Taucher, 200 meters. Get you in a little closer here on the design. You have chamfered polished tops slightly on the edges here, as you can see as well. So a lot of little, cute hints there. Just goes to show they really tried to make all they could. Now on the wrist, the watch fits pretty comfortably and wears very nicely. My wrist is 6.5 inches, and the bracelet makes it really comfortable. It definitely conforms nicely to the wrist there. If you have a wrist size like mine, you shouldn't have any issue. Even if a bit smaller, as you can see, that's across my wrist. It fits just fine. About 6.5 inches my wrist is. And you can get a nice little glimpse of that box double dome sapphire crystal as well from the sides. Not much distortion considering it's double domed, but it definitely looks very, very vintage. So just to get you a little glimpse, here's the blue dial. And then of course you have the black dial, which is straight black. Kind of more simple. I think the black dial will not be as popular as the blue dial. The blue dial is really, really stunning. And the green dial, I think, is going to be the king. Kind of reminds me of an old kind of German tank. That's just me, though. Let's take a look at the green one. So like I was stating, it kind of reminds me of like an old German kind of tank color, or a tank color. Definitely reminds me of vintage German design, the whole case design. It's very solid feeling, very tough feeling. Definitely a resilient and tough timepiece, in my opinion. And these are just the prototypes. But yeah, definitely out of the three, I think the green is my favorite. The green on the sapphire black bezel with the creamy kind of lume on the bezel and the hands, I think matches very, very nicely. So yeah, that's pretty much going to sum it up. It's a nice little dive watch here coming for release on Kickstarter. Definitely stay tuned. And you can find out more about this watch if you check out their website, of course. They probably have a newsletter or something of that. Follow them on Instagram as well if you want. And let me know what you guys think. Obviously, for a prototype of this new watch, I think they're onto something. I think they're going to do pretty good on Kickstarter, in my honest opinion. I review a lot of watches that go on Kickstarter. I can usually pick out the winners right away. I think this one's going to do pretty good. I didn't find anything wrong with it. No quality control issues. These are prototypes, as I said. Whatever is not right is going to be fixed anyway, like the ghost date. The lume is going to be added in BGW9, so no issues with that. You get a great bracelet, the nice clasp. And it's, you're getting a Swiss-made movement, German build quality, and yeah, I think it's a pretty decent buy. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below, as usual, of the new HEINRICH Taucher, or Taucher, or Tauscher. Not exactly sure. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, as usual, and we'll chat a little more down there. This is Watch Addiction Watch Reviews, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks so much for tuning in. Definitely hit that subscribe button, throw the video a like, and I'll see you guys real soon. And that's it for today. Bye.